Hello everyone, it's Diego Doom here and I'm bringing you another review. And today we have SH Figuarts Rock Bison from the show Tiger and Bunny. Okay, here we have Rock Bison. First, let's start with the box. So for Rock Bison's box, you'll notice if you purchase this figure, it's a very large box. It's considerably larger than all the other Figuarts releases, which is pretty cool because Rock Bison was a very large character on the show Tiger and Bunny. So let's just take a look at this box. First you have the nice open clear window that displays Rock Bison prominently, and then here you have a nice photograph of Rock Bison here. Then you have a nice image of Antonio or Anthony Lopez. Then here you have Rock Bison with that nice green right there, which, you know, he's themed in. On the side you have a nice picture of Rock Bison again. Half of his name. You know, nice green silhouette. Then on the back you have Rock Bison in a couple of dynamic poses. Bull Tank of the West Coast, Rock Bison. A picture of Mr. Lopez here. His sponsor, Kronos Foods, if you can see that. And then also you have this neck attachment in the back, which I'll explain about later. But, you know, you can see he can get some pretty cool poses despite being very, very big. Left side of the or right side of the box, left side of the box, I'm not sure. Rock Bison. At the top again, Rock Bison, SH Figuarts. And then on the bottom you have your UPC codes, etc., etc. I bought this locally, and you'll notice this once you start collecting, but a lot of collectors already know. I bought this from a store in America, thus you'll see that it's distributed by Bluefin, so that's just something that you'll notice, that you can get these from American sellers, so that's pretty cool. So, next we'll move on to the figure's accessories. Next, let's move on with Rock Bison's accessories. Rock Bison only comes with 4 accessories, and it may seem pretty bleak for him, but it's okay because all he does is pretty much punch and grab stuff, so it fits the character well, no big deal. So the first thing that Rock Bison comes with, he comes with one set of hands, and these are open grabbing hands, and they're pretty, they're very nicely sculpted, very accurate. They even have the tassels of how this armor attaches around his hands and everything like that, so perfectly fine. And these attach by a standard ball joint peg. So you just pull the fist out and plug these right in, and it works out fine. So that's it for his hands. And then this unique piece here, he has a rubber tube or rubber hose that attaches to the back of his neck. And you can see that here. And it attaches to his neck like so. The long piece, the curved piece going into the head, and the short piece going to the back. And these hoses are very flexible. So I chose to attach the long one because it comes with 2. You have a long one and a short one. And I assume the short one is meant for when he's looking up, if you're trying to simulate him flying or anything like that. So I chose the long one because these are flexible, so you can move his head any which direction with the longer hose on. So that's just fine. And they just attach pretty simple. There's just 2 pegs here, as you can see. And the hose just pushes on like so. You can get that on there. And that's it for it. So this hose attachment adds more detail to the figure, and that's it. So that's pretty cool. And then the last accessory, which comes standard with all the SH Figuarts Tiger and Bunny figures, is he has his own stand themed for him. So it's in that nice green for Rock Bison. You have Rock Bison here, Antonio Lopez, Kronos Foods as his sponsor, and it's just once again your standard Tamashii Nation stand. You know, you just have the rod and the clips. Now with this stand, Rock Bison really doesn't need it. He seems a little too heavy to simulate flying pose with this stand. I haven't tried it, but when I have put him on the stand, it, you know, it kind of flips over and weighs down. So Rock Bison is just a large, sturdy, solid figure, so he really doesn't need the stand, but it's nice to have. It's a nice compliment, so that's pretty cool. So next we'll move on to the figure review itself. Okay, on to the figure review itself. So initially when you see Rock Bison, he's a very heavy, sturdy figure. Have no issues of him standing on his own. He has very large feet here, which are perfect, and we'll get into those. But let's start from the head down. The head, very nice sculpt. I do not see any issues with the head. Yet again, I feel like the Figuarts line and Bandai have done a great job staying true to the show and all the figure's original content. So with Rock Bison's head, he can turn left and right, and to the degree at which his head turns is only limited by this hose in the back that I mentioned earlier as an accessory. And then also you can kind of pull his head up and down. If you can see that, it can kind of has a slight up and down motion, so I guess you can have him looking up when he flies. On the shoulders, you'll notice he has a logo there. I'm not going to try and pronounce that and butcher it, but I think it's another one of his sponsors. You have these nice drills here, fairly sharp, very cool. And when we receive the figure, these drills will not be attached. They'll be in the box, and they just slot onto the pegs that are on the shoulders, and they fit in really snug, so not a big deal. Start with the arms. The arms can move. They have a nice range of motion. I'm afraid to move this, try and make this do 360. I'm pretty sure it can with like a lot of the Figuarts figures, but my figure is very new and the joints are pretty tight, so I don't want to risk breaking anything. But you have this nice range of motion, and it seems, you know, they've designed it fairly well that even though he's a bulky character with a lot of armor, he has a lot more articulation than what you would think. If you move down to the arms here, you have his elbows aren't double jointed, but you can get that nice range of moving his arms up and down. They also rotate, which is very nice. And then on the fists here, you'll see he has a kind of a sheath or a flap here that is articulated, and then you have his hands here in the center, which can rotate. Then you get down. He doesn't seem to have any waist movement, but then again, my figure could be so new that it hasn't; those joints haven't loosened or popped in yet. But I'm pretty sure he doesn't have any waist movement. Okay. So let's move to the skirt here, and the skirt is like Sky High's. It's very nicely done, and it's a simple peg system. Well, it's not necessarily a peg system here. I've never popped this one off like Sky High, but I'm pretty sure it's easy to pop back on, so that's pretty cool. But you have articulation for all three sides, so the sides can come out, and even the front can come out. If you push that down, the front actually does come out too some. But yeah, there you go. You can see it moves down quite a bit, and if you finesse this joint, I'm pretty sure it can come out. So say if he's squatting and his skirt are raised as he's doing a little blast off motion to fly, it's pretty cool. So next, let's look at, yeah, you can see the joint in there. Yeah, here you go. Sorry about that. And the skirt can come out here, and it has a, I'm not sure what you would describe as this joint here, but if you can see that, if it'll focus, it moves down and up like so, so that's pretty cool. Sorry for the random focusing. Rock Bison's legs, they're pretty bulky and sturdy, and his knees, he doesn't have a double jointed knee like other Figuarts releases, but that's fine because Rock Bison's a big guy and it's not that big of a deal. It's definitely not a disappointment in any way, shape, or form. So you have that. It's pretty cool. And then you move down to the feet. Rock Bison's feet are very, very cool. Very articulated. He has some toe articulation here. And then you can actually move the ankle up and back. You know, the toe here. And I'm pretty sure the ankle in this back part is die cast, which helps him stay sturdy. But I mean, his feet are huge, so he's going to stand pretty well no matter what. So this is a great figure. Once again, I could see if people want to skip out on Rock Bison. Maybe they might be deterred by the articulation or anything like that. But as a whole, I feel like it's a great figure. And if you're a completionist and a fan of the show, you should definitely get this figure. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, you can't have, you know, Barnaby without Wild Tiger, and you can't have those two guys without Sky High, and surely you wouldn't leave Rock Bison out of the party, you know. So this has been my review for SH Figuarts Rock Bison.